Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel Elements of 3. My name's Chef Simon Braz and today we're going to make a prawn laksa. The ingredients will be in the description below. If you like the video, then please give it a like, hit the subscribe button and get the notifications for the upcoming videos. I plan to upload videos every week. Today this prawn laksa, I think it's really lovely, full of flavour, fresh, vibrant, and something that's really nice to be able to impress your friends with. So let's get started. The first start of this dish is basically going to be a broth, a spice paste, and the finishing touches. So we're going to have some noodles in there, some vegetables, and some prawns. So today, first what we're going to do is to get started with, we've got a basic stock here. Now you can use chicken, you can use fish, you can use vegetable, use a prawn stock if you've got it. So all I'm going to do now, basically pop it into a saucepan. Okay, so we've got about a litre here. That's all going to go into there. And then we've also got some fresh coriander, just been picked off, but I also like the stems primarily because they give us so much flavour. Unlike some green vegetables, green herbs, coriander's got so much flavour in the stem. We've got some lemongrass, salt, juice of a lime, and brown sugar. So basically we're going to put all the coriander in there. Okay. We're going to add 400 grams or a tin of fresh coconut milk. Okay. We're going to add the juice of one lime. Now I like to just rub it on the board here. That just helps the juice a bit better. Give that a squeeze. Okay, so that's all that lime in there. That's lovely. Then we've got about a tablespoon of salt and 45 grams of sugar. Okay, that's going to go in there as well. Lemongrass. I like to make sure you bash it with the back of a knife, okay, and it will just lovely bruise it, okay, and that's what you want, just like that, beautiful. And that's going to go into the broth, so you got all your ingredients in there ready to go. We're just going to put it onto the heat, okay. I'm going to put it onto a simmer, let all those lovely flavours infuse. The next part of it is going to be a spice paste. Now, this is really lovely and it's so simple to make. So what I've got here is I've got some prawns that have been deveined and peeled. I've got some onions, and in there I've got some chilli, ginger and garlic. Now it's up to you, if you like this a bit spicier, you can add a little bit more fresh chilli. It's completely up to you. About 45 mils of vegetable oil. Okay, I'm using a rapeseed oil coming from Britain. It's a fantastic product. And then we're going to add our dry spices. So here we've got some coriander, ground coriander, some turmeric, some chilli powder and some cumin. And that's what's going to go in there. And then basically what we're going to do is blend all this to make a really, really lovely spice paste. But also in the meantime, I'm going to put a little saucepan on. And what we need to do is, once we've blended these ingredients, is we need to accentuate those flavours. Now, dry spices need to be warmed up, need to be heated, because otherwise you won't get the full flavour from them. If you're making a normal spice rub for an Indian dish, then you would need to toast the spices off to really get those flavours out. So we'll start with blitzing these ingredients, okay, to a smooth paste. Just using a Thermomix here. Not going to take long to blitz it, it's only going to take about 30 seconds if that. Blend up nice. Okay, and that's what you're left with. Nice spice mix. Okay, now we don't want to waste any of this, so we're going to take it all from the top and from the bottom. Okay, all of that I'm going to scrape it all out, and this is going to go into our saucepan. Okay, like so. You see, as soon as it starts to hit the saucepan, starts to sizzle, and then you know it's nice and warm. Now I haven't added any oil into this, it's just the mix on its own, okay? Because there's already a bit of oil in this and you just basically just kind of warm it up. Now then it will change colour, it will go sort of like a darker colour, which is what you want. Yeah, if it doesn't, then you know the flavours are coming out. You want to keep it moving. You want it on quite a high heat. Okay, that gets cooking. I've also got a pan of salted water here for our noodles. Okay, and as I said, there's going to be some finishing touches. So I've got a lime here, I've got prawns, our noodles, I'm just using some dried egg noodles. I've got some lovely fresh coriander, these are the leaves now, just to finish the dish and garnish it. I've got some mange tout, which I've just cut in half. Finally, some bean sprouts. Lovely, because these are going to give such a nice crunch. And the good thing about this, it doesn't actually take a lot of time to cook, which is fantastic. Okay. Hopefully your broth is coming up to a simmer now. It's coming up really, really well. And the good thing with this is that with the spice mix as well, is that if you have any left, you can freeze it. Cut it into little portions, layer onto a piece of cling film. I've got one at the moment, I rolled it into a cling film into a sausage shape and froze it. And then periodically I just cut it. If I'm making a laksa again, I'll just add that to it. Beautiful, I've got everything ready. That's the base of my stock. Ready to go. Colour that out really nice. Really, really nice in there. I need a bowl to put my ingredients in. All coming together really nicely. Just going to give the just a little mix. Of course, it's completely up to you. Now, if you want to make this vegetarian, obviously you won't put prawns in it, but you can use a whole other selection of vegetables. And my personal favourite, I have a lovely little trick here. Tofu puffs. These ingredients are so lovely that I think they're underused, underappreciated, and I think they're really, really delicious. You can buy them as I have, or you can make them. It's completely up to you. If you wanted to make them, all you'd need to do is use firm tofu and deep fry it. And that's basically how you make tofu puffs. So with these, basically just going to cut them in half. Give a real nice texture to the dish. So just taking them, cutting them like so. And there's not a lot of flavour to these, so of course whatever you add to them is only going to make it taste even better. So you can use a stock, flavour it with the nice stock, and that's what we're going to do with here. Okay. Spice mix coming out really nice now, really starting to get flavours, really start to cut off, and the smell is just so lovely. And that's what we want. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to transfer this to a frying pan. And this way, this is really going to help speed up the process. Because you've got a nice surface area, nice flat surface area, and it's going to really flavour everything up, really nice. So you don't have to worry. So get that in there. Like I said, no oil in there. Lay it out. Get that nice and hot, and this will help colour it off really lovely. I'm doing a bit of research to this. I found out that where this came from was Chinese sailors who were looking for loved ones and wives, and they found these women that were sort of taking a Chinese broth but adding spices to them and adding coconut milk and chilli, and that's how it sort of developed into this laksa that we love and know today. There we go. It's coming together much better now. Bowl in preparation for our spices, and you'll see as it starts to dry out, it's going to come together, and it's going to clump together a little bit more. It's not going to be quite as moist. Now, if for example you wanted to make this vegetarian, obviously you didn't want to put prawns in, you can use mushrooms as well. shiitake mushrooms or butter mushrooms would go really well. They'll have a lot of moisture in there, so this process is really important to really draw out all that moisture. Because if not, if you don't, you just put the spice mix straight into the broth, you're going to dilute that flavour, and that's not what you want. You want to pack it full as much flavour as much as possible, so people can really enjoy it. It's coming together nicely now. It's drying out. Lovely. The smells and the aroma is so lovely here. So the broth is now just come up to a boil. Just going to drop it down to a light simmer now, just to get all those flavours out. Okay, I'm going to save my jug, and I'm going to use a strainer. I want to strain this liquid, okay, because you don't want the lemongrass and the coriander in this. The coriander, as it cooks, it's going to go brown. It's not going to make it look very appealing. So we're going to strain it out. Loads and loads of, just leave that wonderful coriander and lemongrass flavour into the broth itself and not have to worry. There we are, guys. Let's just come together nice. I'm going to take this off now. Okay, put it into my little bowl, and this be left as it is, will last for about 2 weeks in the fridge, or like I said, really good if you want to freeze it in batches. That's fine. You can absolutely do that. It's not going to make any problem whatsoever. Okay, so our pan for our noodles is boiling. Okay, and our broth is simmering nice. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to give this a good 10 to 15 minutes, leaving that to simmer. Okay, so after 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to strain this. It smells so nice. You've got a lovely broth here. Already. There we are. So there, just have the coconut broth. Okay, now we're going to use this saucepan again. Just going to pop it to all the coriander and the lemongrass in our bin. I'm going to use that pan again. Just going to pop that back in there, and we're ready to sort of make a real lovely base and get it really accentuating those flavours. So now what we're going to do, we're going to add our tofu puffs to that, and that's going to really absorb all that moisture. We're going to add our noodles to our water to cook. We're going to add our prawns to our broth. I'm going to turn the heat up. And we're going to add a nice generous serving of the paste. Okay, it's about 2 tablespoons. Add that in, give that a nice mix. And then as you mix it, you'll see that the flavours and the colour will start to change, and it will slightly go a slightly orangey colour, and that's then you know it's going to smell so good. Okay. Break up our noodles a bit, like that, using a pair of tongs. To the broth as well, I'm going to add the mange too. I'm going to add the beansprouts. And our lime, just going to top and tail, cut into 4. I like to remove that little bit of pith, so we don't like that. And basically we have lime, coriander to finish to garnish our lovely laksa. Keep our noodles breaking, mix them up. Get our bowls ready. Now this recipe serves 3 to 4. Easily have enough to make 4. I've got cooking just 3, so there's 3 of us today. And we're gonna make this really lovely. We've got our bowls. Test our noodles. Not quite done yet. Really important, don't forget to taste. Okay, especially the broth. Oh, it's got a real nice kick to that. So I'm just going to add a bit more salt. Now, if you find that it's too spicy, then a good way of counteracting that is adding lime juice, more lime juice, or adding more coconut milk. Okay, and that will help dilute that spicy flavour from the chilli. But if you like this spicy flavour, then beautiful. It's coming together nicely. Ladle here, my coriander, my lime wedges, lovely. Noodles are ready to go. Broth's ready to go. I'm just going to strain my noodles off. Add this to my bowls. Most importantly, always make sure your noodles are fair. You don't want to be on the receiving end of not enough noodles. Lovely. And then our broth. I'll take this, using a ladle. I'm going to take a few of the puffs. Pop that in. Lovely bit of that broth. Make sure you divide the prawns evenly between all the guests. You want to make sure that somebody gets all the prawns and someone else doesn't. That will not be very good. Top that there with a lime wedge. Messy business this cooking, but it is fun. Pop a lime wedge in there. With some fresh coriander. And there we have it, guys. Beautiful prawn laksa. So thank you so much for joining in. I really appreciate it. It's so kind of you. Please give a like and hit the subscribe button and see more.